The question we're going to answer in this video is Israel going to be saved by the Antichrist? The first thing we need to do is define who Israel is in the Bible. Not all who are descended from Israel are Israel. Not all who are descended from Abraham are Abraham's children. And a Jew is not defined by external circumcision or ethnicity. A Jew is defined by circumcision of the heart, which means Israel is defined by circumcision of the heart, which means that being Abraham's children is defined by circumcision of the heart. That's what defines you as a child of God. That's what is going to justify you. That's the covenant. That's the contract you've got with God. That's Israel. Not something that was established in the 1940s, that the Antichrist of counterfeit Christianity is worshiping in the Middle East. That is not Israel. Revelation 2 and 3 say that there's a group of people who call themselves Jews, though they are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan, and Jesus is going to make them bow down at the feet of those who are his and acknowledge that he has loved them. So let's be clear about what Israel is. It is not contingent on ethnicity, though there are some who are in fact descended from Abraham, descended from Jacob or Israel, but that's not the criteria. You're not submitting your 23andMe to Jesus. You're submitting your heart. I want you to listen to a clip from Ralph Drollinger, who has a large role in pastoring the administration in this false prophet of the United States. I want you to listen to what this man is saying.
When you look at the book of Revelation, things are going to get worse before they get better, and we're going to end up in a tribulation period where the Antichrist is going to war against Israel, and Christ is going to come back to save Israel from the Antichrist.
Part of the problem in people accepting things like this is that when they say that they're saved, they don't even know what they're talking about. They don't even know what they're being saved from. And so it makes it very easy for a false teacher like Ralph Drollinger to come in and say that you're being saved from the Antichrist. Salvation has to do with the curse. You're being saved from the curse. But you're also working out that salvation from the curse. And when Jesus comes to save you, you will be saved from the great wrath that he's going to bring as a result of those who have remained in the curse. If you have worked out your salvation and fulfilled your covenant of circumcision, then you're going to be saved. But see, what Ralph Drollinger is talking about is being saved from the Antichrist. And he is insinuating that Israel, this is his definition, is that Israel is a group of people in the Middle East. And that's who the Antichrist is going to go after. Actually, it's the opposite. The group of people in the Middle East claiming to be chosen who steal, sodomize, rape, and murder are the image of the Antichrist. Where is that found? In Revelation 13. And in Revelation 13, it says that the image of the Antichrist is actually the persecuting power. That is the Antichrist, at least part of it. The other part of it are the stupid counterfeit Christians who worship it. And it, the image of the Antichrist, is actually going to persecute not only God's people, but the dum-dums who worship it. That's in Revelation 9. God's people are going to be persecuted and killed by the Antichrist. True Israel is not going to be saved from the Antichrist. No one is being saved from the Antichrist. Paul said, you've not yet resisted sin to the point of shedding your own blood, which means you will. Revelation 6 says that the witnesses are under the altar, that is Jesus, under the altar, crying out, how long, sovereign Lord, holy and true, until you judge the inhabitants of the earth and avenge our blood? And they're given white robes and told to wait a little longer until the full number of their brothers and sisters, the servants of God, have been killed just as they have been. The full number. In Daniel 12, Jesus tells Daniel that this persecution, these things that Daniel is seeing in the vision, are going to go on until the power of God's holy people has been broken. That's another way of saying that they're going to die. In Revelation 20, the only people that John sees going up in the first resurrection are those who've been beheaded and have been given authority to judge. In the book of John, Jesus says to the apostles, the very people who kill you are going to claim to be doing a service to God. Do I need to continue on? Because I've just given you plenty of examples in the Bible in which God's people are going to die. And it's been made clear that God's people are going to die. No one's going to be saved from the Antichrist. What you're being saved from is the curse. What you're not being saved from is your requirement in the covenant. Are your requirements in the covenant? To suffer for the name, pick up your daily cross and give your life for his life, become a sacrifice, live as one who is separate from the rest of nations, set apart and holy to God, become holy as God is holy, become purified, made spotless and refined, be circumcised in your heart from the sinful flesh, suffer, withhold from yourself, fight the battle in your flesh or against your flesh. Do you see all the things that you're required to do in your covenant? You're not being saved from what you're required to do. You're going to resist sin to the point of shedding your own blood. The image of the Antichrist is going to kill you. That's what the word says. And of all of the scriptures that I just mentioned, all you really have to read is Revelation 13. That all the inhabitants of the earth are going to receive the mark of the beast, all whose names have not been written in the Lamb's book of life. And of those whose names have been written in the Lamb's book of life, they're going to resist and stand firm in their covenant. They're not going to worship this image of the beast. And if they don't worship the image of the beast causes them to be killed. That should make it real clear right there. No one's being spared from the Antichrist. No one's being saved from the Antichrist. Ralph Drollinger is a false teacher. He does not know what he's talking about. He has no understanding. He fornicates with the important people of the world. If that's who's listening to you, you should have enough sense to know that you're false. This is the Antichrist. This is what is pastoring the false prophet. It's pathetic. These are pathetic interpretations of Scripture. Please discern this with God.